Well, my Patriots are losing, so this video had to happen anyway, so I'm just going to get on with it. Today, I finally want to kind of break down modern dealerships and rethinking your payment structure. Why I believe partnering with a specialist, right, like Clutch, for example, I think that could be a strategic advantage that many are missing out on. So if you are not a car dealership or a dealer group, this might not be the video for you, so fair warning. Dump off now, or you might be able to learn something. But anyways, I think that if you're running a car dealership in today's landscape, payments is absolutely one of your biggest operational leaks. And I say that, really the biggest reason why I say that is I just feel like it's silent. It's easily something that just kind of sneaks by. It's off in the background and can get unnoticed rather quickly. It's like payroll for me, right? I don't really notice it. So I think it's the same type of situation here. A lot of dealers that I have spoken to, they don't even know how much control that they actually have in this area. But time and time again, the things that I do see are you have service, you have parts, you have down payments, you have high ticket transactions. All of those are very common, and all of those lead to high processing volumes. But most are very much still kind of just stuck in like an outdated pricing model. No consistency across states, like compliance states, and zero visibility into what's really costing money at the end of every month. So I think you guys let's start simply modernizing payments. Let's start figuring out, how do I modernize my payments? How do I have a partnership that I can get massive results with, right? So case point, over 360 dealerships nationwide, 1.7 billion processed transactions, 38 million in annual savings, and we have a 97% retention rate. Those are just some facts. So this is a long-term solution that I think you should be paying attention to. In my opinion, it probably isn't even like a payments issue. It's probably more just kind of like an operational type of thing. So let's start kind of unwinding here and trying to figure this stuff out. A lot of things can be considered as we're discussing this. Different rules in different states. I know that's a big one. Having legal uncertainty around surcharging or cash discounting, I know that's still confusing. Having maybe like a one-size-fits-all processor, that's out. That's old. You don't have dealer-specific reporting or visibility. We need that. Payments are treated as like a necessary evil, when in reality, they should kind of be a strategy for you. So if we're operating across multiple states, compliance alone, I know that becomes a nightmare. And this is where the partnership really needs to be at the forefront of your mind, because these are regulations that all parties need to have a firm grasp on. So what's compliant in New York, we know is not compliant in Florida or in Texas. Those are just some examples. Cash discounting, dual pricing, surcharging, all these different laws, they all vary. And if you get it wrong during your initial setup, it's going to expose you to real risk. In my opinion, we're going to make it collaborative, okay? Collaboration with payments is king. It's always been the most important. It will forever be the most important. If there's collaboration, your company is able to determine a best pricing structure for you, just so you have more awareness around these different things. Here's a little bit of context, just so you know, and you can take back with some knowledge here, even to your current provider. So cash discounting, first and foremost. A card price is shown, cash automatically receives a discount. So it's encouraging cash usage. It is eliminating processing fees at the same time. Dual pricing is when two prices are displayed, both cash and card. Think of it like a gas station model. There's full transparency, and again, zero processing cost to the dealership. Now, surcharging, there's going to be just a small fee on credit card transactions. Debit and cash are going to remain fee-free, all right? Clear signage, clear compliance. Those are some key differences there. So for you, the key isn't to force customers into one option, it's giving them a choice. You are giving them transparent choices and control while you are removing the processing costs from the dealership. And I get it, like so many of you that might be watching this, you stop, you might not even finish this right now because you are so turned off by this topic. Passing the fees onto the customer may cause you to jump a bit. I understand. But really, it's a mental block. And I feel you should learn to challenge this mental block. Okay? Because trust me, your customers don't care. And I know they don't care because I'm a consumer and I do this all the time. They're at your dealership because of the experience and because of your reputation. Hands down. They could care less if they have to pay a little extra to use their card. Shit. They want all the points. Anyway, so like, what are we talking about here? The car's already 20, 30, 50 grand. What do they care? What do they care? They're already spending 20 grand. What's it matter? So if you just hear me out, I think this is what happens. If you move and you decide to do this, this is when you stop the bleeding. Tens or hundreds of thousands of fees a year eliminated. You are able to reinvest that back into the business, right? You could possibly enhance loyalty programs. You could possibly have the service department get some promotions, right? We could expand through capital. I mean, you're increasing profitability without even raising prices if you go down this path. So rather than fearing the backlash, focus on how the customer experience improves. That's the big one. And I get it, you might disagree with some of these talking points, but that's fine. Things that we would put in place are transparent pricing. What happens now is a faster checkout. What happens now is flexible payment options, right? You have loyalty programs funded by savings. These are all things you get creative. When done correctly, customers will not push back because they appreciate the transparency. And your team now gets to spend less time explaining fees and more time closing deals. Don't you want that? Once you lock on a pricing structure with a partner, talk to them about the operations. That's obviously something that cannot be denied because the right partner needs to be behind the scenes with everything and be able to marry into this existence, right? Be able to marry into your software, okay? It needs to blend together. You guys need to mesh. Integrate with existing systems, enhancing your reporting, having back office tools, really just, live in be a full reporting and support person for you. Have a real account manager that knows your business, knows guys are the direct people in control of everything. It's a controlled, fast rollout that would be designed for a dealership. That's what all of this is. This is why in today's market, the partnership is everything with your payments company. It can no longer be simply a company that is behind the scenes processing transactions. So I know we just kind of talked about all that different type of stuff, but to give you an idea on how we would operate with our dealerships, this is just things to consider. Again, we talked about the software, right? So an all-inclusive software suite, okay? Giving you that full access to the entire software suite, including the dual pricing or whichever you choose, including the reporting tools, right? Including all future updates, and none of that is any cost. There's no cost to that, okay? Waiving fees, right? Having a consideration of having all monthly fees that are typically associated with services, having those be completely waived for your business. Making sure that you also get a dedicated client manager, exclusive to you, personal, dedicated to you, just to be able to ensure that that personalized support and that seamless communication is flowing for you. That's partnership. Additional assertions like, the full compliance with Regulation Z and all relevant laws and 24-hour support, right? A team that has deep automotive industry experience, quarterly performance reviews, and optimization sessions. Like, this is all stuff that we would just want to intertwine into the business. Anyways, if you're a dealership owner or part of a dealer group, okay, if you've never taken a hard look at your payment structure, I'm telling you, it's one of the highest ROI conversations that you can have. Period. If you want to explore what this could look like for your stores, reach out. Reach out. Would gladly be able to give you feedback. If you don't want to reach out, no big deal. Just subscribe. If you just want to keep getting more data, subscribe for more videos, right? More insight. Not going to hurt. So take these things into consideration. Heck, go back and talk to your current provider about this stuff. If you don't want to go and whatever, hey, are you able to facilitate this stuff? Are you able to make it easier for me across all departments? Make sure all departments are communicating with each other. But again, if that is something that is unattainable, definitely feel free, reach out. This is true partnership, true collaboration. Anyways, appreciate you guys watching this. Like, subscribe. Did I nail this one on the head? Who knows? Will my Patriots win? Doubt it. Till then.